I'd like to call this meeting to order. It's 6 p.m. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll start with personal appeals, part 1. If there's anyone with a personal appeal, please approach the lectern.
I'm Sandra Cleaver, 741 Harrison Street. I was here last month and I wanted to personally thank the people involved to help me get my plumbing fixed. It is up and running and I hope I don't have to ever be here again. But thank you, and I wanted to personally thank Lawrence, Carl, Tim, and Troy. Thank you so much.
Ms. Cleaver, they are going to be preparing a full report on that of what they saw, and you'll get a copy of that report because
Okay.
there's some things in the house, like in the pipes on your side of the house that you might want to have addressed. Okay, and we can talk about that later.
Okay.
Okay.
So should I wait till I get the report? And then...
I would, yeah.
Okay.
But they were able to break through. They were able to get the line open for you.
Because I did have somebody else there, and he couldn't go past the trap.
Yeah, it was on. There's some things on your side of that trap that had some issues. We cleared out everything on the other side of the trap as well, but we came through the interior of the house and helped you get that unclogged as well.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
thank you so much, and I'll wait for the report, then I'll give you a call.
Okay, sounds
Okay,
good.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the follow-up. Are there any other public appeals? Okay. There's nobody online, so community minute. Anyone have a community minute?
Daylight savings time.
Yes.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Snow blast this weekend, depending on, I guess, with the weather, it's rain or shine, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. So snow blast this weekend and changing the time. Good reminder. Okay. We have a special presentation today, the swearing in of our new ambulance chief, Adam Priest, and I will turn it over to the mayor, Mary Gilbert.
Adam, Chief Price, do you want Mrs. up with you for this?
Should I usually just shift our chairs? No, you're good. No, you can stay where you're at. Yep, you're fine.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Adam Priest,
I, Adam Priest,
do hereby declare
hereby declare
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the people I serve with respect and professionalism.
and the people I serve with respect and professionalism.
That as ambulance chief of the Borough of Eubanks,
That as the ambulance chief of the Borough of Eubanks,
I further agree to protect, safeguard, and preserve life,
I further agree to protect, safeguard, and preserve life,
health, and the well-being of the people.
health, and the well-being of the people.
I so swear and affirm.
I so swear and affirm.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll recess for a few minutes for photos. Calling the meeting back to order, 6:10 p.m. Next is reading of minutes. We have the February 20th, 2024 council meeting minutes. Would someone like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Councilmember Labenberg, second.
Second.
Councilmember Holscheid. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those against? I guess they've been asked. Okay, no nays. Do we have any decisions on bids? Not that I'm aware of.
No, nothing.
Okay. Communications. We have a series of communications. The first, Halloween parade parade event request. This is a long-standing event in our town, so that will be referred to staff. Next event is farewell to summer event request. This is an event that requests the ability to sell alcohol, so we do need to have a vote for that. And I have a motion to approve farewell to summer event selling alcohol. Councilmember Anders, and a second. Councilmember Watt. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? 6 ayes. All right. Next event, old-fashioned Christmas event. Again, this will go to staff, but we do have to vote on the ability to sell alcohol. So do I have a motion to approve that? Councilmember Anders, seconded by Councilmember Labenberg. And are there any discussion? Questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. All right, 6 ayes. And we have the Memorial Day Parade event request. That is also an annual event that will refer to staff. All right, and then we have a series of some volunteer applications, which is always great to see. David Biles, volunteer application for Historical Commission. That should go to CRD, right? And Lucy McLeod, volunteer application for Vacancy Board. That will be Gen Ad, I believe, so that could be addressed this week. Christina Seedroff, volunteer application for Historical Commission, our new commission. That will also go to CRD. And Brittany O'Connor submitted a volunteer application for Joint Environmental Advisory Council. That'll go to Health, Sanitation, and Codes Committee. And last event request, Funk 5 Miler. Again, this is a repeat event. It will be handled by staff, but we do have an alcohol request. So can I have a motion to approve the selling of alcohol at that event? Motion made by Councilmember Labenberg, and second. We'll do seconded by Councilmember Brown. Any discussion, questions? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. We have 6 ayes. There's no borough engineers report, solicitors report.
No report, progress.
All right, moving right along. Unfinished.
They disagree.
Unfinished business part 1. We have 2 ordinances. This is the second reading for both. So ordinance 1259, an ordinance of the Borough of Emmaus, Lehigh County, Pennsylvania, amending chapter 15, subsection 602.2.a of the Emmaus Borough Code, removing a residential disabled parking sign on the public street located in front of 819 Chestnut Street within the Borough of Emmaus. This is a roll call vote, so we will start with a motion to approve the ordinance.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Councilmember Honscheid. Do we have a second? Councilmember Watt. And any discussion, questions? So we've already seen this once. This is our final vote, and we'll start with Councilmember Honscheid.
Aye.
Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
Councilmember Baumgartner. Aye. Councilmember Labenberg.
Aye.
Councilmember Anders.
Aye.
Councilmember Watt.
Aye.
6 ayes. Ordinance 1259 passes. Ordinance 1260 is our next one. It's an ordinance approving appointment of solicitor, interest assessment, attorney fees, and collection fees added to the amount collected as part of unpaid real estate taxes and municipal claims for delinquent accounts. This is our second reading. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay. Councilmember Watt, and do we have a second?
I'll second.
Councilmember Anders. This is again is a roll call vote. We'll go down the other way. Councilmember Watt.
Aye.
Councilmember Anders.
Aye.
Councilmember Labenberg.
Aye.
Councilmember Baumgartner. Aye. Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
And Councilmember Honscheid.
Aye.
6 ayes approved. Ordinance 1260. We have no new business, No unfinished business part 2. Are there any items not on the agenda? All right, moving along. Mayor's report.
I have no report. Progress.
We're moving at a quick clip.
That we are.
Big faces at me.
All right, next is committee reports. First up is Public Works. This is Councilmember Anders.
Yes, thank you. We have nothing for official action this evening. Our next meeting is Monday, March 11th at 4:45 via Zoom and in person. I'll report progress.
Thank you, Councilmember Anders. Next, we have Health, Sanitation, and Codes. Councilmember Brown.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just brief report for tonight. Last meeting, we just went over just one brief item, which is the zoning ordinance, saldo ordinance. And in that topic, the committee discussed about sticking to what we call hot topics. And I sent that email to the committee. We had a meeting just recently with a few members, Jeff Ott, Mike Gibson, the zoning team, Eric and Brent. Who am I? I'm missing somebody.
Solicitor.
And the solicitor. I should have known.
Yeah, how could you forget him?
But we talked about, there was about 7 to 8 items that were hot on that. Some of them got resolved. There's others that we'll be picking apart again as we meet next meeting, which is going to be March 20th, I believe. Let's see here. Yeah, March 20th. March 19th, sorry. Thank you. At 4:45 p.m. But besides that, nothing for official action tonight. Now report progress.
Thank you. Next is Parks and Recreation Committee. Councilmember Hunscheid.
Thank you. I have nothing for official action, and our next meeting is Thursday, March 21st, 4:45 p.m. in person and Zoom. Progress.
All right, excellent. Public Safety Committee is next. That's myself. We already took care of Ordinance 1259. We have no other items for official action. Our next meeting is Wednesday, March 13th at 9 a.m. in person and via Zoom. Next up is General Administration. Councilmember Liebenberg.
Thank you. We have a meeting Wednesday, 9 a.m. Via Zoom. We'll be finishing up the assessments for insurance purposes and reviewing the fleet policy if you get a chance to look at that beforehand. And then we'll go to our regular agenda, I'm assuming. So with that, progress.
Thank you. Budget and Finance, I believe.
That will be me.
Councilmember Liebenberg will also.
We took care of Ordinance 1260. You have the budget performance as of 2 months. Resolution 2024-8 is the bill list resolved by Borough Council to authorize payment of the March 4, 2024 bill list as follows. Bill list $169,784.02. Payroll number 4, $198,303.71. Payroll taxes $61,627.81 for a total of $429,715.54. And I'll place that in a form of a motion.
Okay, motion made by Councilmember Liebenberg. Do we have a second?
Second.
Councilmember Watt, seconded. Any discussion or questions? Okay, this is a roll call vote. Councilmember, it's a roll call vote?
No. Bill list.
No.
That's a resolution. You have to
Okay. All right. That's okay. All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. 6 ayes.
Significant revenue and expenses are listed for you. The committee favored going out for an RFP for our banking services, so I'll place that in a form of a motion to allow Shane to place the RFP.
Second.
Okay, motion by Councilman Liebenberg, seconded by Councilwoman or Councilmember Watt. Are there any questions? Do you want to offer any explanation?
Yeah. So the committee discussed in detail the need to. We've been thinking about this for a while. to make our processes a little bit more efficient. There are definitely some bank services that we're missing that our current bank doesn't offer. And we feel that we can get some increased customer service by going out for another competitive RFP. One of the things that is going to be essential is, every day at 3:45, an employee leaves and does a night deposit somewhere. It's like $300 in cash and thousands of dollars in checks. And the reality is, like, in modern technology, there's this little thing called a check scanner that you just put the checks in and it scans through and everything's deposited the next morning at 8 a.m. Our bank doesn't offer that service, and there's some other things going on that we feel that for the amount of money that goes through the bank, we have some customer service needs that we're looking for. So there's some very specific items that we want to address and some very specific needs that we want to include in an RFP.
And I might add that we still might keep maybe 1 or 2 accounts open at the current bank just for change purposes for like the swimming pool, because the bank is currently in town and we may get a bank that's out of town. So we need somewhere that's close by to be able to get change. So
I just wanted to, Mr. Pepe, if possible, that we could look at competitive rates for maybe saving our residents when they're doing online payments, and if
that has nothing to do with the bank.
It's not.
No, that's and we have been working very hard. To be honest with you, the processor that we have is terrible. However, it is the cheapest.
Okay.
Everybody that we have looked at probably 15 different processing companies, and they charge a flat 3.5%. And so when you take that and multiply it by $1,000 bill because somebody came in and wanted to pay multiple things, you're looking at $35, right? Where right now this company is at a flat $3.50, but it's also $3.50 for a $2 candy bar at the snack stand. That's where
I wasn't sure if that was part of the RFP.
No, it's not. That's a different
bank.
Banks don't control credit card processing. Okay. We're still on the hunt. We have looked at, honestly, it seems like every municipality in Eastern Pennsylvania, we have looked at their processor and still are not satisfied, because if we're going to change, we want to be able to do utilities. We want to be able to do the park stuff. We want to be able to do codes. We want to be able to process everything that goes through the borough. And we're still not completely satisfied with a single vendor where the citizen's not paying $25 for a convenience fee. Like, we can't let that happen. But at the same time, the rest of the taxpayers can't take that burden either, so we're still trying to find something that
and I apologize for
is better.
Confusion.
Nope, that's fine. That's fine. If you had that question, that means other people had that question too.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Okay.
I think you still need to vote.
We do. Yeah. All those in favor, say aye.
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 All those opposed, say nay.
Next is Engelbert Financial. Is being recommended from the committee to conduct actuarial RFP process for our pension, our police pension, and then
non-uniform
pension. And just so you know, it's for a $2,500 contracted price, but this will be coming out of the pension fund, not our borough budget. So I'll place that in the form of a motion.
Motion by Councilmember Labenberg. Do we have a second? Second. Councilmember Watt. Any discussion, questions?
Yeah, I just want to mention that they acted as our consultant for the investment firm, and they were a lifesaver because, quite honestly, we had 12 or 13 different firms that put in very large responses. They broke it down. They did initial interviews. They gave analysis. They were absolutely phenomenal. We don't expect, there aren't that many actuaries out there, but we expect them to be able to do kind of the same preliminary breakdown and analysis for us. So that way, when the Budget and Finance Committee and the pension board review, it's a much simpler task, as they'll go right through the interview process with us for that fee. So it's a great service, in my opinion.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. 6 ayes.
Also, referring to the pension, the MMO payments usually was a one-time payment every year. We discussed this in the committee last year, and we're following through with doing it this year. And we're going to do 3 equal installments, one in May, one in August, and one in October. And if you know anything about investing, dollar cost averaging, instead of putting it in at one time, you put it in over 3 different times of the year, and that way, if the market's wacko one way or the other, it averages out. So it's kind of a safety net for the pensions. So I'll place that in the form of a motion.
Okay, motion by Councilman Lapenberg. Any seconds?
Second.
Councilmember Watt, seconded. Any questions, comments, discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. 6 ayes.
And then also on Wednesday, we meet at 11 a.m. by Zoom, and I'll report progress.
Thanks. You were the entirety of our meeting, I'd
Yep.
say. Thanks.
Four motions.
All right, Community Relations Planning and Development, Councilmember Watt.
We have nothing for official action, but in our next meeting, we look forward to doing some more historical commission interviews and discussing the possibility of doing a strategic management plan this year to build on our Vision 2030, and also to look more in depth at design guidelines. And that meeting will be Tuesday, March 12th, 5 p.m. via Zoom.
All right, thank you. We have the Emmaus Public Library Board meeting minutes. Personal Appeals Part 2. There's no one in the room and no one in the Zoom room, so we'll move on. We do have an executive session. This is to address a legal matter, potential action afterwards, right?
Correct.
Okay, so we'll adjourn for at 6:28 for executive session.
The time when
Right, would like to call the meeting back to order coming out of executive session. 6:47 p.m. We talked about a legal matter, and is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to authorize the borough manager to enter into a settlement negotiations with 3M regarding PFAS damages along the prior discussed settlement terms.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor by Councilmember Labenberg. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilmember Honscheid. Any discussion, questions? All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say nay. 6 ayes. Okay, now we go on to Borough Manager's report.
Yeah, so that was that. I think other than that, we're in the middle of the hiring processes. Just narrowed down 440 public works applications. We're getting ready to interview next week. We have finished up the interview process for the police clerk. We tentatively, she is would accept the position if it's offered to her. We have started the background process, so we would expect that process to be finished up for council to have a vote at the next council meeting. We're very excited about the candidate. We had some very, very good candidates. It was a very good process. So still working on a paramedic. That is an ongoing effort. And summer park employees are next. So we're going through that process now. In need of lifeguard applicants, seem to be getting a number of other summer park employee applicants. We're also in need of a new compost attendant, as our current attendant has resigned. He's been advised by his accountant that because he's in retirement, he's not allowed to make any more money. So he's not going to work this year because of Social Security and some other things. So we're looking for a new attendant for that position as well. Other than that, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll report progress.
Okay. Next is President's business. President's not here and I have nothing to report. So do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? And I'll just remind you that the mayor's here and she can do a tiebreaker vote if we need to. We want to make her work since she didn't have a report today. Okay, Councilmember Brown makes a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Oh, look at that. They're not even going to second it.
I'll second.
Councilmember Longshide. We have a second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay.
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 Oh, do we have one more?
It's up to Miss Watt.
So, okay. So wait, Chris said no. Roy said no. And what did?
Aye.
Did you want to break it? No, go right ahead.
Technically, she has already voted. It was heard. That means the motion has carried.
All right, motion carried. We're adjourned.
Almost gotcha.
51 p.m.
I hate to be a stickler for Robert's rules, but her